Hari Om. Our journey starts at the house of Narayana Vaidyan, Pankajakshi, and their three children.
Amma, where's Big Brother?
Raghavan must have taken the bus to Guruvayur like he does every month.
Raghavan is the answer to my endless prayers. Maybe that is why his mind always turns to God. He is always seeking something, but I don't know what it is.
Every month, young Raghavan continued to visit his favorite Krishna at the Guruvayur temple. After finishing his schooling in Kerala, Raghavan moved to Pune in the mid-1960s. He worked during the day and attended college in the evenings. He picked up dictation and typing skills that would be useful later in life. He held many jobs, never staying too long in one place. He would be able to figure out his boss's dictation style and predict the content of the letters even before they were dictated. He was always looking for something a little more challenging. 1969 was a turning point in Raghavan's life. He saw an advertisement in the Deccan Herald newspaper for a Gita Jnana Yajna by a well-known spiritual guru, Swami Chinmayananda. He was intrigued and decided to attend the yajna. Raghavan found himself in a crowd of thousands of people in the school Maidan. The topic was chapter 15 of the Bhagavad Gita, Purushottama Yoga.
Aham, I, the Lord, Vaishwanaro Bhutva, as the fire of digestion. Digestion is considered as a fire. Heat is necessary for digestion.
This encounter had a profound impact on young Raghavan, who was mesmerized by Pujya Gurudev's spirited personality and message. He wasn't sure he understood everything, but he was determined to learn more. He wrote his name and address on a Guru Dakshina envelope. Soon after, he received a postcard with details of the nearest Chinmaya Mission Center. Raghavan joined the Chinmaya Mission in Pune and tried to volunteer in any way he could. He would attend the study groups that met at the Ayyappa temple every week. He started teaching Balavihar sessions at the nearby locations. Later, he would take the bus to faraway locations to volunteer. Gurudev visited Pune several times in the next few years and saw him actively involved with mission work. In 1971, one such occasion would prove to be a turning point in his life.
What are you doing here?
I work for a company during the day, and in the evenings I either teach Balvihar or attend the study group.
That is not what I'm asking.
Raghavan was unsettled by Gurudev's piercing gaze. It felt like he could see him through and through. He started pondering Gurudev's question and soon understood its true meaning. Within 6 months of this encounter, he answered a newspaper advertisement from the Sandipani ashram in Powai, quit his job, and traveled to the ashram to start as a secretary. Raghavan arrived at the Chinmaya Mission headquarters in Powai in the spring of 1972.
Oh, it is you, our Raghavan from Pune. You have come. What brings you here?
Namaskaram. I am here to learn Vedanta and serve as a secretary at Sandipani.
The Vedanta course is already in progress. Can you type well and take dictation?
Yes, I can type well and take dictation.
Good. Then you will be my secretary from now on.
Thus, Raghavan found himself in the unique and enviable position as Pujya Swami Chinmayananda's travelling secretary. Until then, Gurudev used to handwrite hundreds of letters per day. Now, he would dictate them to Raghavan. Dictionary in hand, Raghavan would never tire of Gurudev's challenging and inimitable style. From 1976 to 1978, Raghavan immersed himself in an intense study of our Shastras, completing a Vedanta course in Sandipani. After the completion of the Vedanta course, Gurudev sent Brahmachari Raghavan to Rishikesh for further studies in Sanskrit and to further his sadhana. For the first time in his life, twice a day, Brahmachari Raghavan had to visit the Kali Kambliwala Annakshetra for bhiksha. At a time when refugees would pose as sadhus for a free meal, Raghavan and his peers were interrogated before receiving their meals. His ego pricked, Raghavan wrote to his guru,
Gurudev, I don't know how much longer I can stay here and answer these questions to get food. I have never been in a situation like this.
That is why I sent you there.
After the Vedanta course, Raghavan continued to accompany Gurudev on many trips as his travelling secretary. He would recount these as his best memories with Gurudev. Gurudev would wake up early, ready to give dictation from 4 a.m. to 6 a.m. Raghavan was not used to it, but he found that Gurudev was kind on the rare occasion that he overslept. In 1981, Gurudev summoned Raghavan to Chennai from Rishikesh.
We have a request from Hong Kong. Take down this letter. We received your request for a mission member who can support himself and teach in Hong Kong. I am sending Brahmachari Raghavan to come there and serve the needs of the seekers in your community.
And that is how Brahmachari Raghavan found out he was going to Hong Kong. With $9 in his pocket and a lot of faith in his guru, Raghavan arrived in Hong Kong in 1981. When his 6-month visa was about to expire, he shifted to the Taiwan branch and spent several years there. During the day, he worked at the trading company to support himself. By night, he taught Vedanta and Balavihar to the Indian immigrant families living there. He was instrumental in building a foundation for the mission centers in Hong Kong and Taiwan by conducting Gita Yajnas, giving discourses, and working to establish support for Chinmaya Mission. In Hong Kong, he would meet a young Yuva Kendra member called Ashok, who would later follow Gurudev's guiding light and further his legacy. In 1986, Gurudev gave Brahmachari Raghavan a new name, Brahmachari Shanta Chaitanya. In 1991, Gurudev sent Brahmachari Shanta Chaitanya to Los Angeles as an acharya. He stayed there with Chinmaya Mission members and worked to establish support for a center. In 1992, Gurudev wrote to Brahmachari Shanta Chaitanya, calling him to Siddhabari. Not realizing the urgency of the request, he would travel through his native Kerala and reach Siddhabari during the Navratri festival. When he reached Siddhabari, it had the festive air of the Shera. Siddhabari was preparing for the second Mastakabhishek of the Veera Hanuman statue on its 10th anniversary. Unbeknownst to him, Pujya Gurudev had decided to grant Sannyasa Diksha to him on this very auspicious day. It was a special day because it also happened to be his birthday. Following the Viraja Homam, Gurudev initiated him into sannyasa by giving him the mantras written in his own hand and blessing him with his ochre robes.
From now on, you will be known as Swami Shantananda Saraswati. Shantananda, Los Angeles is not yet ready. Go to Pennsylvania, serve our mission, members, and establish a center there.
Swami Shantananda Ji arrived in Pennsylvania in 1992 and immediately started his tireless efforts to establish Chinmaya Mission Kedar. He drove up and down the tri-state area, visiting community members, giving discourses, conducting jnana yajnas, and fundraising for the ashram. In July 1993, Gurudev was on his US tour when he fell sick on the way to Los Angeles. He had to be hospitalized in San Diego. His next family spiritual camp, to be held in Pomona, Los Angeles, was to be led by him and his two disciples, Swami Tejomayananda and Swami Shantananda. With Gurudev hospitalized, the two disciples were torn between their guru and his work. In the end, they decided that the show must go on. They each held Gurudev's hand as he lay on the hospital bed and asked for a sign. Gurudev couldn't speak, but held their hands and gave them his blessing. The camp was conducted flawlessly by his disciples, and Gurudev held on till August 2nd, when the camp ended. Pujya Gurudev attained Mahasamadhi on August 3rd, 1993, in San Diego. With a heart heavy from the loss, Swami Shantananda continued on to the next location in the camp itinerary to continue Gurudev's work. This marks the 30th year of his life as a renunciate, and to this day, he is still continuing Gurudev's work. Our beloved Swami Shantananda Ji, the engaging master of Vedanta, the ever-cheerful, fun storyteller, the able administrator, the approachable guru, always ready to clarify doubts, the world traveler, learnt from the best example of Purushottama on that fateful day in 1969 when he first met Swami Chinmayananda. His life has been one of selfless service and total surrender to Pujya Gurudev. He established CMTC, Chinmaya Mission Tri-State Center, for New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Connecticut, and New York. Over the years, he worked to set up the Kedar Ashram and then the Chinmaya Vrindavan Ashram in 2001, and more recently, the Chinmaya Ramdut Ashram in 2020. As the president of Chinmaya Mission West, he oversees the activities of over 60 mission centers in the USA and Canada. His weekly schedule of pravachans is dizzying. Swamiji is equally at ease with the highly philosophical and intellectual Upanishads and Bhagavad Gita, as well as the bhakti flowing through the Bhagavatam, Narayaniyam, or Tulsi Ramayana. He epitomizes Karma Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, and Jnana Yoga because he sees his Guru as Ishvara and the very Supreme Self. On behalf of the countless people touched by his selfless service, love, and devotion, we salute him and his journey with the Master.